and the subject is best rap debut of all time. We got to try and make the top five, create a Voltron of it. After the first four rounds, obviously it's going to be more than five on there, and we got to argue to fight something off. So I don't know how long Bill can stay, so we're gonna let him get a couple rounds off. So Bill, we'll start with you. What you want to throw up as best rap debut or R&B of all time?
Best rap or R&B debut. All right, so I'm gonna get mine off of then because evidently my son not doing good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do some lesser known ones because because some of these other ones is kind of cheating because obviously the first one that come off right off the top is Illmatic. But I'm not going to put Illmatic in there because I feel like that's cheating. So I'm gonna go with was Brown Sugar D'Angelo's debut?
Oh, Hero, I forgot to share this in the Discord.
That was his
debut? That was the debut. Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna put Brown Sugar in there. I'm gonna put.
Hold on, no, you only get one. I was just letting you start off. All right, Brown Sugar.
Right.
Then all right. So run it down, or what it means to you, or the artist for the people that don't know Brown Sugar.
So Brown Sugar is like the quintessential, at least from the male side, the quintessential neo soul album. It is when you think about what neo soul is, it's just like an amalgamation of every Black genre that matters outside of electronica, right? And it even got some elements of that in there, but it's gospel, it's funk, it's soul. Whenever you hear people talk about how say D'Angelo is like the heir apparent to Prince, this is even though it's like a 20-year span in between all of them, I would put D'Angelo's run between Brown Sugar, Voodoo, and Black Messiah as like one of the greatest 3 album runs of an artist ever. It just has that. It reminds me of when I was a kid, being in West Philly with my dad, whatever girl he was messing with at the time, and just being around. That's what it sounds like to me. It's nostalgia. Whenever I think of that album specific, it's a couple that album specifically. Baduism. I Just Want to Sing. Music.
Ooh, that's a good
big
one.
Philly artist.
Yes.
I just get my whole vision go and Miseducation. Yeah, is another one. My whole vision just goes into like sepia tone because that is Philly? Just.
I don't know that is D'Angelo from Philly.
No, D'Angelo's not from Philly. I was just saying like that's what you would hear.
But the whole neo soul movement got heavy roots in Philly, like with the Roots, Lauryn Hill.
That whole Philly.
I mean, not Lauryn Hill. Jill Scott,
music.
Music. Yep. I would say between like Detroit, Chicago, and Philly, like because Dilla was a part, like the whole Soulquarians, right? Like Dilla, Q-Tip, obviously New York, Harlem, all of them places. But like that whole like Soulquarians crew was sort of the production, machine behind a lot of that neo soul sound in the early 2000s. So Philly definitely. A lot of my favorite musicians are from Philly. I'm a huge. I feel like Music Soul Child is maybe. I hate the fact that Pretty Privilege is a thing. That eyeball just wasn't. He had that lazy eye, and unfortunately, I just don't think he was like handsome enough.
Yeah.
But in terms of talent. I can't think of too many male R&B singers that are more talented than Music Soul Child. I mean, he really is phenomenal.
For real.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just looking at on Twitter and I saw a post and it was talking about like albums that seem related, and it was talking about Voodoo, Mama's Gun, and Like Water for Chocolate, because they were all made in the same studio and it's got like that same kind of feel. And like you were saying, that's that Philly connection that brought it all together.
And Dilla was on production for all 3 of them records.
Yep.
Oh, this first time we had two East Coast brothers. We got Queens and where you claim again, Bill? I always say Philly, but you be like it's not Philly.
I'm from Trenton.
Oh, Trenton. That's
New
what it is.
Jersey.
Trenton, New Jersey.
Which is basically, as I always tell, because again, anybody who is not from this area, whenever you say Trenton, they don't know what you're talking about. Then when you say New
I only know
Jersey,
East Trenton from the Mama Raised Me record.
If you from this area, Trenton is basically New Jersey's. Well, I know Camden is New Jersey's Compton, but Trenton is like neck and neck with Camden. But culturally, it's far north Philly, basically. So
y'all
it's basically Philly's little brother.
I didn't realize they were so close.
Yeah, I'm like, well, not now, but where I grew up was like a 35-40 minute drive from downtown. So yeah, all of the Trenton cats on the weekend drive down to Philly to, go to the club or go to whatever and whatnot, and all of the Philly cats come to Jersey to get their girl or whatever. Or
that's what. Hey, John, that's what niggas in Toledo do. They come to Detroit to go to casinos.
Yeah, Toledo. I mean, Toledo ain't got nothing.
Nothing,
that's pretty much every little city in Michigan that you never heard of. Everybody got to come to Detroit. Like,
that's what it is.
All of them cities, they come to Detroit because we got everything. But all right, Matt, you up next. What you want to throw on?
All right, so I'm glad that Illmatic got passed over because I'm gonna be a New York nigga, and I'm a rep for Illmatic. I could wax poetic for Illmatic. It's my favorite album of any genre. And it's funny. I say I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. That's my favorite rapper. But even with the Jay-Z Nas beef that people continue to bring on, Illmatic to me is just the best album in hip hop. And it's crazy that it was Nas' debut. But it's 10 songs. It's to the point. No bullshit. No unnecessary tracks. You don't even get like a stupid skit on it like some of the 90s albums did. Just straight bars, and being a dude from Queens, like I seen the streets that Nas was talking about. It feels so real. But even like the white hip hop heads who from the suburbs and never seen nothing that looks like that, they love it too. Like I feel like if the culture was the way it is now, the way Kendrick got that Pulitzer, I think Nas would have got one for Illmatic.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
What's your favorite record off of Illmatic?
Oh, Represent, for sure.
And Illmatic, if I remember, that was like the first major hip hop album to use multiple producers, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because it was like you had Large Professor, Q-Tip, Pete Rock, Premier, like you brought Voltron together.
Right.
Damn. I ain't even peeped that. That's like for that time, those were the who's who of elite producers.
And I'm gonna be this gonna be a hard list. For one, I feel like it might end up being all rap because we rap nerds, but also when we start kicking stuff off, it's going to come down to how concentrated it is, because Illmatic is going to be hard to kick off because it's only 10 records and it's pretty much no skips. When you think of records like Music Soul Child, I Just Want to Sing, it's like 17 records. You'd be like, he got some skips on there. But yeah, Illmatic is going to be hard to knock off. What you got, Hero? What's your first pick?
I got a lot, man. I really wanted to go because I really like what Lil Bill was talking about. Had I gone next, I probably would have went with Baduism just because it's like the other half of that conversation, and I might do that next round if nothing else changes. But to go back with some hip hop shit, from my experience as a Midwest kid, as you can tell, from behind me, like I've always been super into nerd shit, comic books, video games, all of that good stuff, and I think it is super commonplace now to merge those two worlds together. But when I was coming up, that was like all of the hip hop niggas was secretly nerds, but you wasn't allowed to like experience that shit for real until Lupe Fiasco, bro. Lupe Fiasco 2005, I think it was 2005 or 2006, Food and Liquor. And I remember when I talked to John about this, when I first heard Lupe, before I started getting into his mixtape game, like during that time, like 2005 to 2006, Lupe Fiasco is my favorite rapper of all time. Like that era of Lupe, my favorite rapper ever. Like his mixtape run, it's right up there with Wayne's in my opinion. Like the Revenge of the Nerds, First and 15th, all of that shit. Absolutely incredible.
Enemy
stuff.
of the State mixtape.
Enemy of the State, yes, incredible stuff.
Enemy of the State was crazy.
And so when the first time I heard Lupe though, just like everybody else, was on the Kanye joint, Touch the Sky. The nigga's first line was, "Guess who's on third? Lupe still like Lupe in the third." And when he said that shit, I was like,
yes.
As a kid, I was up watching Adult Swim at 2 a.m. I'm like, oh shit, you know who Lupe the third is?
And
I feel seen.
Exactly, bro. Like that was the first time ever. Shout out to Feek for the cannabis line, but I wasn't hip on cannabis back then. But that was the first time ever as a young hip hop fan where I was like, dog, this nigga speaking my language. He said that to me, like specifically, right? And so like that merging and the normalization of bringing in this like nerd element to hip hop, which was always there. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Especially the producers, all them niggas were nerds.
Like nigga, Wu-Tang would name themselves after fucking comic book characters and kung fu. The nerd shit was
shout out to Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang definitely was probably the first to do that. But I don't know if I would really like. I think Lupe took it to a different level because I think Lupe was a little bit more explicit with like, I am interested in anime and video games. Like like the album had a fucking samurai sword and like. That nigga was floating in space with a samurai sword in a boombox, bro. Like it's not in frame right now, but I literally have a samurai sword behind me. I was like, because of Lupe Fiasco, bro. Like
if we say his name enough, he might show up. That nigga will pop up on the screen. Lupe, y'all know I had beef with Lupe, but I fucks with some of his stuff. Also, Lupe was the first rap nigga to be rocking Goyard. Like now the rappers are rocking Goyard. He was one of the first niggas rocking the Goyard print.
Yes.
Back in the day, and that shit was dope too.
So I have sort of a love. It's not a love-hate relationship. I've been frustrated a little bit with Lupe because he's so brilliant, bro. He's such a genius. I think he does the thing that a lot of smart people do, and I have been guilty of this, where like you can't let little shit go, and like, man, like I need to prove to you why you're wrong about this shit, and that's not for everybody, right? And I see that in myself. I see that in Lupe. I used to see it in Kanye before he went totally left. And so I've been frustrated with where he's gone recently, but well, for a stretch, his most recent shit has been fire to me. But Lupe is always going to hold a special place in my heart, bro. That first record, Food and Liquor, just absolutely changed everything for me. So that's going to be my vote.
All right, I'm gonna go. I don't know how long this one will stay up here. It has to get mentioned though, so at least it'll make the Voltron. Eric B and Rakim, Paid in Full. This album took hip hop from people being like, that's a trend. There's some goofy shit. You was having people like Rodney Dangerfield make albums, and like the Run DMC, they were hot, but that flow and stuff was corny. To when Eric B and Rakim dropped this album, one of the old heads in my job like 10 years ago got me hit. It was like, you need to go listen to this album. When you listen to it, it aged so well. Like, man, that the beats, the flow, that I'm like, it completely changed rap. I forget which one it was. It was either, I think it might have been DMC. He was saying when they heard this, he called Ron like, yo, we about to be cooked because we can't compete with this. It sounded so different. Like they was doing that corny flow that the young boys think of when they think of old rap. Eric B and Rakim Paid in Full. So fucking smooth. And I was young. So
the problem is the young niggas think that the niggas was rapping like that in like 2005. Like
I know,
yeah.
You think about Rakim. So I was a kid, so I didn't know who Rakim was until Jay-Z's The Blueprint 2, because my older brothers weren't listening to the older stuff like that. I heard Rakim on The Watcher. I'm like, this nigga is nice. I thought it was a new rapper. I'm like, and that's another thing. Like, as much hate as people give Jay-Z, you got to think about Paid in Full came out in 86 or 88.
86, I think.
86.
Yeah, I'm going to say 87 or 86, somewhere around there.
the Blueprint 2 comes out in 02. Nobody was featuring rappers from the 80s like that. And Rakim came in and smoked it. I'm like, dog, like Rakim is one of the most important, to me, one of the most important figures in the history of hip hop. I mean, music, because what he
Bill
did
is right, it was 87.
To push hip hop forward. So Paid in Full got to make it for at least a round.
It's funny. I was listening to Paid in Full the other day, and I ain't no joke. Like, that's a song that I feel like lyrically, you could put that up with some shit from today.
For real.
And like, you know how like these kids, they do like the blind watch, and like they never heard the song before, and you play it for them. Like, I feel like you could play that for a kid who's 20 years old today, and they're like, yo, this shit kind of hard. Like, because the beat is hard, and he's flowing. Like, the nigga is going crazy on it with no curses.
Yeah, like that flow in 2026 is still clean.
Literally nobody was doing that before.
Right.
I was gonna ask, to your point, Bill. Aside from Rakim, is there any other legendary hip hop pioneer that has like modernized rap, the skill of rapping more than Rakim, or as much as Rakim has?
The only comparable, because I always is that every if you got into rap from the 90s on, every single one of your faves is a Kim clone. Every single one. Nobody was doing what Kim was doing. So I remember when whatever that Benny the Butcher album was, that I think it was like Tana Talk 4 or something. And he was on Rap Genius, and he was talking about, syllables, like how he rhymes every syllable with each other. That's Rakim. That is directly lifted from him. That multi-syllabic rhymes. Like you got like 4 or 5 different rhymes within a bar. Nobody was doing that before Kim. So
I got a question.
Said Big Daddy Kane too. That's
what I was gonna say, because I hear like Jay and like Nas and all of them, they always throw it up to Rakim and Big Daddy Kane. So where did Big Daddy Kane come in? Did he come in after Rakim?
I think they were around the same time, but I think
they were same time.
Wasn't Kane just a little bit before though, or no?
I think so. He might have been. Yeah. Kane was more like and the only reason I know that I'm gonna tell this story and I'm gonna hop off. Only reason I know this is because in the 80s, my mom had went to this party out in West Philly, like in Overbrook or whatever. And it was like Big Daddy Kane was doing this, some other DJ or whatever and whatnot. And it just so happened that Will Smith was there, and this was before Will Smith was Will Smith for real, right?
Yeah. I think I know this story.
Evidently Will Smith tried to talk to my mom, and my mom was like,
I definitely don't know this story.
was like, nah, because this nigga he got on a baseball cap with a fire siren on it. No, I'm not trying to talk to him. I want to talk to the DJ. And to this day, we will not let her live that down. Was that you could have been Jada Pinkett. Now,
all right, Bill. Before you go, if you want, you could throw one more up because we only got 4. If you want to throw another thing up.
So let me throw this one up, and then I'm gonna hop out. It's College Dropout. That is College Dropout is still to this day one of my favorite albums. I still listen to it. It's like especially in the time that it came, right? Because in the time that it came, you had to be 50 Cent to get it. I feel like, to Hero's point about Lupe, without College Dropout, I don't think Food and Liquor takes off the way that it does. Agreed. Because Kanye, because people don't realize this, and I'm gonna talk about this a little bit later. People don't realize this is that Jay and Dame Dash, they was throwing a Hail Mary with Ye. They was not trying to put him on because they was like, you run around here, with pop collar polo shirts and whatever and whatnot. But it was like, we gotta take, cause Beans is in jail. We ain't got nobody else. So
I have to say this in defense of Jay and Dame. because clearly Kanye hired them some ghostwriters like Rhyme Fest and whoever. Go listen to the Bounce with Jay-Z and Kanye West and tell me you would have faith in that nigga, because that verse is trash.
Well, I mean, it's no.
That verse on.
I mean, but there was a bunch of trash rappers out there. And the 50 Cent was the biggest rapper in the world. I would die on the 50 Cent. And I hate when people misrepresent this point that I make about 50, is that 50 made Get Rich or Die Trying is the album that Nas tried and failed to make for like 6 years. Not because 50 is anywhere near the rapper that Nas is, but because 50 got that ear for musicality. He got 50 just knows how to write he just knows how to write a banger. He knows how to and that's in big part because of Jam Master Jay. Jam Master Jay taught him how to write songs. But 50 is not, if you put 50 just bar for bar against a lot of the other rappers that was pop, if you put 50 bar for bar against even Luda gets slept on.
Oh, wait a minute now.
Oh yeah.
Ludacris is nasty, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But I don't even think it's an apt comparison. Like I feel like Luda on a whole different level.
Head, though. The casual head that just know like Southern hospitality, roll out or something, that ain't actually listen to the album, they'll be like, oh nah, 50 got fit. Like, nah, go actually put 50 bar for bar with Luda, and you will see what I'm talking about. But you constantly see 50 as like greatest this rapper, greatest that rapper, or whatever, when he shouldn't be up there. So I just say that to say, as much as like rap nerds like us value bars and value lyricism, ain't as big a deal to the casual head. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So that's why Ye, I feel like, because Ye to me was always serviceable as a lyricist. But it's just the total package of what he delivered in them early days is what set him over the top.
The other thing about Ye, I agree with you 100%. I know you got to get out of here. The other thing about Ye that I think a lot of people forgot is that he was we all know that he was a producer first, right? But like when we first when those of us who saw the debut of Kanye West understood that he was being graded on the producer curve, right? We were like, he's a pretty good rapper for a producer. That was always the caveat at the end. At some point, and so from that perspective, like he was respected as an MC. At some point along the line, niggas forgot about the as a producer part and started putting him in these ridiculous lyricism conversations. And I'm like, bro, Kanye has never been, and aside from his psychotic break that he's currently dealing with, I was one of the first people out on Kanye in my little group. I was one of the first people out on Kanye because I'm like, bro, this nigga, first of all, I was sensing some of the crazy. And second of all, this nigga can't rap that good, bro. Like, he's a pretty good rapper for a producer. His music, his production ear was phenomenal for the time. It has also dramatically fallen off. But like, I have always been frustrated that we forgot about the fact that this nigga was a producer first, rapper second. And we just stopped, like, we gave him the curve and the grade boost without the context, and that part always kind of frustrated me.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna really hop off. Is that the evidence to that point is that every Ye track that I've heard with a feature on it, he always got dusted. I can't think of one, but every single one he gets dusted. All right,
when he comes on as a feature.
All right, you got anything?
Great to meet you, bro.
Huh?
You got anything you want to plug?
That I got that CM Punk going to be president video. That's right now. Y'all boost that. Y'all go watch that. It might be the best thing that I've done in a minute. But all right, y'all. Deuces.
All right, peace. All right, it's on Matt. What you got, Matt?
All right,
hold on, Matt. Real quick, I have a question for you. As a New York nigga, as a Nas fan, I'm a producer. I don't rap. I make beats. I work with a lot of them underground Detroit niggas. And so like production and beat selection is something that I take that I'm really particular about. How do you respond to the accusations that Nas is a bad picker of beats? Do you?
I agree.
Okay.
I like Nas as a lyricist. I think he's, easily should be in everybody's top 5, top 10. He's one of the coldest lyricists. But a lot of his like really memorable verses, for me at least, came on other people's shit because his like, verbal intercourse or some of his joints with Mobb Deep, like those beats was crazy. Why didn't you do that on your album, bro?
Heard.
But yeah, next up, I'm gonna pause being a New York nigga for a second, and I'm gonna go with Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music by Outkast. Andre 3 Stacks is one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Same.
And that's no diss to Big Boy because I think he's a cold motherfucker too. But that like the rapping on that, and I'm 34, so I was a little kid then, but I can only imagine for dudes who was listening at that time how they felt hearing people from the South rap with that style. Like, up north we always joke on Southern dudes, talk about they drawl and they talk slow and they cadence or whatever, but the stuff that they was doing on that album was crazy. Like Players Ball, of course, but even Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, the song itself is just crazy. The flows is stupid on that.
What's your top records off of
it? Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music itself, that to me, that's one of the like when people ask like, all right, why you think Andre 3000 is an ill rapper? I put that on because the way he was flowing, that's not what you heard from Southern rappers, especially in the late 80s, early 90s. They was used to, Uncle Luke and that bass music, talking about, shaking ass and all that. Nobody was used to cats rapping like that. And when you watch interviews of Andre 3 Stacks, he was saying that at the time he was really trying to imitate some New York dudes. And then people started telling him, even he who should not be named, P. Diddy, was telling him like, yo, don't try to be like that. Just be yourself. And I think what you see is like a good mix of him trying to be, different from the Southern dudes, but also his Southern style, making it a really dope track.
All right, now this is where it's gonna get hard because I think this gonna be one of our hardest debate episodes because we only get 5 for Voltron. So we got Brown Sugar D'Angelo, Illmatic, Food and Liquor, Paid in Full, College Dropout. Do y'all think Southern Player is good enough to knock anything off yet? I'm gonna be real. As a hip hop nerd, I'm gonna be going for all rap. So I would vote for Brown Sugar just because I don't have the emotional attachment to it. I didn't grow up on that album like that. And I fuck with Outkast too, but this isn't one of the albums I was super heavy into either, so I could go either way. I might have to be the tiebreaker for what y'all pick.
I like Brown Sugar, but Voodoo is more my D'Angelo album. So I'd probably put Outkast ahead of Brown Sugar, or just off of that.
That's cool. I'm with it.
All right, so Outkast gets it. Southern Player makes the list for now. All right, what you got, Hero?
So I'm devastated because I had one in the chamber that I was super excited about, but I just found I had to double check because I wasn't sure. But it's not their fucking debut album, dog. One of my maybe my all-time favorite rap group, right up there with Outkast. Maybe a slight edge to this group, Bone Thugs and Harmony, bro. As a Midwest guy, East 9099, bro. That is one of my favorite records ever, but that's their second record. Creeping on the Come Up was their first record in 93. East 99.
What year were you born, Hero? 89?
80. I'm older than y'all. I'm 87. Basically 88, okay. December of 87.
Okay.
So for me, bro, like East 99, that's the one with Crossroads, Mo Murda, Days of Our Lives, all of the classic joints from Bone came from that song, from that record. But yeah, can't do that one. So then I was thinking Kendrick, but what do you consider his debut album? A lot of people.
That's what I was going to say. We got to debate because I had it on
Yeah.
there too. I consider Good Kid, Mad City as his debut album. Some people consider Section 80.
It's a mixtape. And I don't consider that his debut album personally. That was his breakthrough moment. That was his breakthrough, like musical creation that got him into that kind of launched him on this trajectory.
Yeah, but I wish Bill could have stayed a little longer because he argues the opposite. He argues that Section 80 is Kendrick's debut album, and I don't agree.
I mean, it's like it's literally not an album though. Like it's an EP. It's like a mixtape.
It's a mixtape.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can understand his point because I do think it was a debut moment. It was like, all right, like I'll give you another example. And this is another one I had in the chamber. Eminem, right? Detroit guy. I gotta give it up for Eminem. The Eminem hate has gotten ridiculous. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I agree.
Y'all doing too much. But Infinite technically is his first record. That nigga sold 500 of them bitches out the backseat of his car. That shit don't count. It shouldn't count in my opinion. His first real album was the what was it? Marshall Mathers?
Marshall Mathers LP.
I feel like technically that is his. It's his breakthrough moment, right? It's not his first album, but it's his breakthrough moment. So I would say the same thing about Kendrick. So let me just go ahead then, and I'm taking up too much time here. I'm gonna say Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City, as officially his debut. Kendrick, again, probably one of my favorite rapper. Currently, my favorite rapper for sure. One of my favorite rappers of all time. No surprise. Every hip hop nerd loves Kendrick, and I just think, sorry, given the moment that he had with Section 80 and just blowing the doors off of what was expected out of that like cohort of backpack rappers at the time. Because I don't even think he was leading the pack at the time. I think Wale was the man. Drake had already kind of broken through. It was Wale, Drake. What's the nigga from Pittsburgh?
Oh, Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz Khalifa. Big Sean was making a little bit of noise back then. And Kendrick was not leading the pack. He was my favorite of that group because Rigor Mortis was, as a rap nerd, just like the lyrical flexing on there was some shit I had never heard before. But I think after Section 80, he started to separate himself, and Good Kid, Mad City was like, he completely followed through on the hype and took it to another level and emerged at that point as the leader of that school. Obviously, shout out to J. Cole as well, who was right there. But I think after Good Kid, Mad City, he sort of took the ball and has not looked back since. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, Good Kid, Mad City. It's like for a generation, like they had just never heard anything like that. Like that record, "Sing About Me," that was like Nas Rewind for our generation or the generation right below us. That Good Kid, Mad City, and I go back and listen to it. It aged as well as people say too. Because like sometimes you listen to an album like this is banger, and you go back and like I gotta pick that. In my opinion, we'll talk about it. It didn't age as well as we thought. But Good Kid, Mad City at this point it'll be 14 years old some point this year. It aged masterfully. Like
John, did you say that you prefer Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly? I think we talked about that.
I don't honestly. The thing about Kendrick, they're such different albums. They're hard for me to compare. But I probably would take Good Kid, Mad City over to Pimp a Butterfly.
I think I would go
same.
As more of a hip hop. I like it. To Pimp a Butterfly leans more into like soul and what's the other subgenre with Bill Clinton and all of them?
P-Funk.
Yeah, it has more funk in it.
Did you say Bill Clinton or George Clinton?
George Clinton. Always George Clinton. Yeah.
So I feel y'all. I think as a producer though, I think the musicality into Pimp a Butterfly was a little bit more to my preference. So I would slightly go with Pimp a Butterfly.
All right, so we got
to Pimp a Butterfly had like, to me, I feel like some of that Soulquarian influence. So I definitely see where you're coming from.
Yep.
All right, so we got to kick something off. Illmatic, Food and Liquor, Paid in Full, College Dropout, Southern Player. I think I know what's getting kicked off. What y'all think?
I'd like Lupe to stay on a little bit longer, just because I think it was. Go ahead.
I'm kicking off College Dropout for my vote.
Yeah,
Because
same.
rapping skill, like when we're talking rapping, it has the weakest rapping on here.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's more of like a pop album in comparison to those other albums.
Yeah. All right, chat. Let me know y'all's in the chat. What's y'all top 5 rap debut albums of all time? Because I'm gonna be real, this is about to turn into a rap debate. I know us.
Nigga in the chat said my favorite politician was George Clinton when he got voted into Parliament.
All right, which one do I want to go with? I want to say some of my bangers for later. I got one that probably not gonna make it, but it need to get mentioned. YG, My Crazy Life is one of the best. One of the best debut rap albums of the last 20 years. It's amazing. It's like the gangster version of Good Kid, Mad City. It's like if Kendrick didn't see more potential, what Kendrick probably would have been is My Crazy Life. They're like can almost be compared. They're kind of the same era, but YG was outside. Kendrick niggas pulled him to the side, like, hey man, you got potential. You need to do this. Like Kendrick was the nigga that people knew was probably going to a D1 school in the league. YG was the nigga that was running drills in 11th grade and shit. Yeah, My Crazy Life, man. Let me pull that up to remind y'all how many records this had on it. How many hits. Let me see. My Crazy Life had BPT, even though that wasn't a single. I Just Want to Party, Baking Back Me and Bull, the song where he walked through how to rob somebody's house, Meet the Flockers, My Nigga, Who Do You Love, I Really Be Drinking, I Really Be Smoking. Man, that album was a banger. And YG peaked with it. Amazing album, but I know it ain't gonna make the list though. How y'all feel about My Crazy Life?
I actually haven't heard it, so I gotta sit this one out. I haven't. I mean, I heard about it, but I have not listened to it.
Yeah, that's a solid pick to me.
What's the feel on YG out in New York?
Oh, niggas don't listen to no YG. I mean, like something that's like a big hit, like his bigger songs, like obviously My Nigga, Big Bang, but other than that, niggas ain't really listening to YG.
Yeah, I mean they ain't listen to him out here either. Like you're not really about to. I don't know. Maybe back when he first came out, you might have, but you're not about to really hear no YG out here. Like that's a preference. Like I work out to him, but yeah, you're not about to hear no YG.
You'll hear
years
Nipsey
ago though.
Out here before you'll hear Nipsey in Detroit before you hear YG.
Yeah, you definitely hear Nipsey. You'll hear Nip.
Niggas in Detroit fuck with Nipsey heavy.
Yeah, man.
And same in New York.
You said New York too?
Yeah, New York niggas love Nipsey.
I can see that because Jay-Z, that Crenshaw, I was on Twitter doing the build up for Crenshaw, and that's when the story broke. Like, this nigga Jay-Z just sent a $10,000 check. Man, I need to hear this album. He bought 100 copies for $10,000 when Nipsey was selling them for 100 out of his store. But yeah, man, Nip Run was crazy. But yeah, man, I had to shout out YG. I know it's not good enough to knock anything off, but that My Crazy Life, man. With Mustard, for a minute, like Nip and YG and Nip, YG, Mustard, and a couple other people. Shit, Tiger, people gonna laugh at Tiger. Like, they brought the West Coast back.
Tiger had a couple of songs.
Yeah, Tiger had some bangers. Like, if you was just trying to turn up, Tiger had some heat.
Yeah.
But yeah, My Crazy Life ain't gonna make it. I ain't even gonna ask y'all to vote. What you got, Matt?
So I feel like Hero, I was gonna go with T.I.'s trap music, but then I looked it up. I'm Serious was actually his first album.
And it's not there.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but I mean, trap music would have been a hell of a choice because that album goes crazy.
I think that record solidified Atlanta as like the core of where hip hop was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna stay on the West Coast with John, and I'm gonna go with the documentary from The Game.
That's a hard one. Definitely, I had that on my list. That's
Because
a good.
there's some beats on that album that are just too crazy. Like, I mean, the beat for Dreams, that's fire. Like, I feel like anybody who's a rapper, if you just play that instrumental, like you should be flowing for hours. But the beat for Put You On Game, like
Mhm.
I put that on when I work out. I feel like I could lift the world, bro. Like that
Yes.
shit is different.
So let me run through it for y'all that ain't familiar with the documentary. I know we got younger people in here. The big ones, he got Dreams, Hated to Love It with 50 Cent, I Can Get You Higher, How We Do, Don't Need Your Love with Faith Evans, Put You On Game, Start From Scratch, Running, Tony Ayo. That joint, Tony went crazy on that one. Man, his flow on that one was crazy. Let me see. Where I'm From, Special, Don't Worry, man. Like Father, Like Son with Buster Rhymes. Buster killed that hook, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's about to get hard, man. Because I think the documentary can make the Voltron, man. So we got Illmatic, Food and Liquor, Paid in Full, Good Kid, Mad City, Southern Playalistic. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's good enough to knock anything off?
I think
It wouldn't be in my list. I would not. I personally would not knock anything off for it, but I'm curious of what you got to say, Matt.
I wouldn't put it ahead of anything. But it's to me it's close, but I'd
Yeah.
leave the list as it is right
It's an
now.
honorable mention. That's what I was thinking. It's hard. He got some crazy beats on there, some banging, but to knock off Good Kid, Matt, like we talking about iconic albums right now, for real, for real. And I got some that might could knock one of these off, but I don't think the game is going to be able to do it. So let's talk about the game for a minute. If the game wasn't a cornball, he would be seen as like one of the best rappers of his generation, man.
I agree. I 100% agree. That was. I mean, another part of my rationale, which I probably shouldn't count for this type of debate, but like, it's almost like if you win the Rookie of the Year and then you completely fall off afterwards, you still won the Rookie of the Year, so they can't take that away
Right.
from you. But I just can't help but think about like how did you use that momentum from that great debut, right? Like, and I just don't know about the game. Like, he just hasn't really
Um,
had a moment
what,
since then.
what was his second album?
I don't know.
Is it
That's my
Doctor's
whole
Advocate?
point.
No, Doctor's Advocate might be his third one. But the
Yeah,
game
that's a
there,
good question.
he started off strong.
He
But
did.
the game is just, man, he's just a terrible person. He always on some goofy stuff, just live for no reason, trying to get himself involved in other beats. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, and yo, he kills me with this red rose, white ceiling every time
Right.
he want to freestyle. That shit is ridiculous.
Yeah, man, the game. So, yeah, I don't think the documentary is going to be able to make it. It definitely had to be mentioned, though. What you got, Hero?
All right, so I got two that are already on the list right now. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get my one that I know isn't gonna make it out the way. But as you can see, bro, we oh man, we should have did this last year because I'm a huge Pistons fan, I'm a huge basketball fan. New York and Detroit had a dog ass little playoff rivalry. I don't know if you're a sports fan at all, Matt. But
Absolutely.
the
You're
Knicks
not a
and
Knicks fan, though, right? You a Lakers fan?
Yeah, I'm a Lakers fan. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so the Knicks and the Pistons had a great series last year. I'm excited for the game tomorrow, so I'm feeling very Detroit right now. So with that in mind, I got to put it on for Slum Village. I know it's not gonna make the list, but just let me get my shit off.
Mm,
Slum Village, bro. Fantastic Volume 2. Now I know technically they did. If you know anything about the history of that record, Fantastic Volume 1 was not really a thing. It was more like a sort of like a demo. Their first official debut album as the group Slum Village, which that version of Slum Village was Dilla, T3, Batin. Before Elzai joined, was Fantastic Volume 2. And it's just, I mean, like that, the Dilla sound that all of the rap nerds go crazy about, like it started there. Like, Untitled Fantastic, one of my favorite beats ever. Get This Money, Player, like they just like every single track on there. You know, when I was in college, like when I was learning, when I was kind of expanding my horizons outside of just like radio hip hop, you know, Untitled Fantastic was sort of the gateway album for me to get into that world of underground, quote unquote underground hip hop, and it's just has a special place in my heart. So I know it ain't gonna make it, but I just had to give it its flowers.
So Players, yo, that beat is
that
nuts,
hard,
bro. Like
Absolutely.
what Dilla did with that, that's for me personally, that's a top 10 beat of all time, like just in my favorites. Because it just like anytime I hear it, my head just start moving, you know, without even thinking about it.
So you might be able to understand this better here. I feel like when it comes to Dilla beats, he has two types of beats. He has one that's easier to digest as a hip hop fan. Then he has some that's like more artsy, complex, and I feel like that's why he didn't get as big as other artists. Like if he would have dropped a bunch of joints like Player, What You Won't Do, the Erica Badu joint, but then he would do joints like I forget the Busta Rhymes one where the beat is kind of just all over the place. It's hard to vibe to.
I understand what you're saying, but as a artsy fartsy ass producer nigga, I can't get down, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No, I get
nigga, listen, bro. This is maybe the hottest hip hop take ever. I don't care what the fuck you corny ass niggas say. Electric Circus by Common was fire. I don't care. Don't care. That shit was fire.
Yes.
It was fire. I don't care. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. That shit was because the production. A lot of people were thrown off by the production. I get it. But for artsy fartsy ass producer nigga, I was with it, bro. I fuck with it. It was weird. It was weird. It was not for everybody, especially coming from where he, because he had just did Like Water for Chocolate, which was his best album in my opinion. A lot of people's opinion. I fuck with it. It was weird. It was funky, but I liked it. So
yeah, I know originally this was supposed to be like a best producer conversation. So I'm a slide off into that for a quick second. So I'm a musician. I play the saxophone. I play a couple other instruments.
Respect. And what the hell? I didn't know you all this time. I didn't know you played the saxophone.
Yeah, man. So I view Dilla kind of like John Coltrane from a jazz perspective, because when you listen to Coltrane for the first time, there's a lot of concepts that sound weird. But then on the second and third listen, you like, hold up, that's kind of crazy what he did there.
Yes.
So I view Dilla the same way as like John Coltrane. To me, he's rap John Coltrane.
I love it. I'm with it.
Since we talking about producers, my favorite producer of all time, just because, and this is where it hurts Dilla because we didn't get to see him live to grow as an artist. But my favorite producer is Ninth Wonder, and he's kind of I feel like he also helped carry the torch from Dilla with the way he masters his samples. Like it's different artists. You got some people that take a sample and they kind of just flip it, and someone like Ninth Wonder takes the sample and he takes it apart. Like Threat, if you listen to Threat by Jay-Z, I didn't even know that was an R. Kelly sample until I was researching something. That's an R. Kelly sample. Like, I forget the name of it, but like the way he samples is just crazy, man.
Yeah. All right, since we all doing our favorite producers, I'll get mine in. Obviously, Dilla. I don't have a single favorite producer. I've got like a pantheon. Dilla's on that list. Man, rest in peace to he ain't dead, but he's kind of dead to me. My nigga Timbaland, bro, what the fuck you doing? I can't believe this nigga going out so corny. But before all of this right? Come on, dog. Don't see before all of this bullshit. Timbaland was the reason why I started making beats, bro. Like he was just right up there in that GOAT pantheon for me. Just absolutely incredible. But this AI shit's got me looking at him different.
Does Timbaland hate hip hop? What is going on?
He just okay. All right. Let me put y'all on. There's another thing that you'll learn in this space, and as a musician, I'm sure you can peep this as well. A lot of these producer, like really, really, really genius type artists, producers, musician, whatever. A lot of niggas are just weird. They're just weird human beings, and like I think Timbaland is just a weird ass nigga who got a lot of money and like has let that weird ass nigga shit go into a really weird direction that has, like somebody in the chat just said, is really affecting his legacy at this point. And it's hard for me to watch as a former Timberland fan. It's really tough. But just to finish that out, that pantheon would also include Nujabes, of course, from Japan, Flying Lotus, who I believe is a Dilla disciple, like he's kind of from that tree. And then Black Milk, 14 KT, both from the Detroit area. And then a little off to the left, but still a part of this like great producer pantheon to me is Daft Punk, specifically Thomas Bangalter there, the taller one. He's really
good. Daft Punk heavy. I discovered Daft Punk because of Busta Rhymes. That Touch It beat. My cousin was like, "That's Daft Punk." I was like, "It's who?" Then I started listening to Daft Punk. Then that album they did for Random Access Memories for Tron 2. Tron 2 was terrible, but that album was out cold.
Yeah, album was tough. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going favorite of all time, I gotta go Q-Tip. That's my guy. I mean, I'm from Queens. I got to rep for the hometown, but he's not like, I feel like he's a little underrated for dudes who's not like, hip hop nerds. He's not like held up there the same way as like Pete Rock and Premier, Dr. Dre is, but going back to Illmatic, that beat he did on One Love is tough, and people view Q-Tip and like Tribe in general as like, backpack rap. But Tip always said like he wanted to make music that will like knock from your Jeep, and he always did. Like, the joints he made for Mobb Deep, crazy.
Yeah, I'm a big Q-Tip fan. He's part of that Soulquarian sort of vibe. I fuck with all niggas.
All right,
is it on me? Who's it on? Yeah, I think
it's on me. All right, my pick is, I'm gonna throw another one. I gotta show some love because I got some that's gonna try and kick some of these picks off later. But SZA, Control, because he was technically supposed to be picking some R&B joints too. Control was fire, man. That entire album, that was an amazing album. Like TDE is like what they've done for hip hop. We haven't seen any single label do it like that. Pretty much everybody from TDE was dropping bangers. J-Rock, Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, Kendrick, SZA. Yeah, Control, man. That's like, I don't know if I consider it. I guess you would consider traditional R&B. It's like whatever this generation of R&B that we're in now. But man, I love that album. I love SZA. They say she's singing italics or whatever, but I fucks with SZA.
John, I know you. I was talking. Ironically, I was talking to my wife about this at a Pistons game. We seen a girl walk past with a horrible BBL, and I was like, "Man, that's like an unfortunate BBL," is how I described it. Yeah. And I know you had your BBL rankings totally, and I apologize for the objectification of this beautiful black woman. But I will say that, for my taste, I think SZA might have my favorite BBL.
Yeah, she went to the goddamn. I don't even. Her doctor gonna go into the Hall of Fame.
Just because, like, I'm at a point now where, like, if it gets to a point where it becomes uncanny valley and like human beings just aren't shaped that way, it don't really do nothing for me anymore. And I think SZA is like perfectly within that. Like, there are humans that are built this way in real life. Like, respect to that.
I got a homegirl who's a massage therapist, and the bulk of her clients are women who just got BBLs and like they need the massage to like work the fluid out and everything. Shout out to Courtney from Chicago. And she swears that SZA's BBL is like godly. Like, that's the elite of all elite BBLs.
I agree. It's really good. Is it? I mean, come on, bro. Like, she don't look like a cartoon character. She look real. She's like a real human. When you get these cartoon character looking ass BBLs, it don't do nothing for me, bro.
But yeah, as far as the thick ones, because like they have a lot of women get the I don't know what it's called. Like, they still be petite and they just get something added. Like, you would never tell. But like SZA's, as far as for being thick, hers is Hall of Fame level.
Agreed.
But yeah, I know Control is good, but it ain't gonna make the list. I'm holding my trump cards. What you got? What you got, Matt?
So this is another one that is not gonna break the top five, but it's just a personal favorite of mine. Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous by Big L.
Mm.
I never heard of that.
Lyrically, I feel like Big L, obviously he died before he could put out like a really big album, but just Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, it's from 95. It's in the middle of the boom bap era. When you listen to the way he raps, man, it's just some stuff that really holds up to today. Like now the content has not necessarily aged well because he was kind of on that same tip as Biggie doing some of that like horrorcore rapping, like just trying to say the most evilest stuff that didn't necessarily age well. But he got some joints like on that album. There's an early Jay-Z feature on there. And that's when Jay was still on like the stiggity stiggity flow. And people always talk about how like Big L got Jay on the freestyle on a Stretch and Bobbito show, but that album, it's not necessarily one of the greatest of all time, but if you listen to it just for its lyricism, I feel like all rap nerds can appreciate it.
I
Respect.
haven't listened to it, but I wasn't big on Big L. But yeah, I know that. Yeah,
Really, that surprises me. Why didn't he catch you?
I just never listened to him like that. What year did he get killed?
I think it was 99.
Oh, see, I at that time in '99, I was only listening to whatever my brothers listened to. So it
In '99, I was still trying to find my hip hop way because I wasn't a big fan of like I was struggling with hip hop because I grew up in one of them black excellence brunch club, one of them petite bourgeois, as Fekinen would say, households. So there was a lot of respectability. My dad was a black studies professor, so like there was a lot of respectability politics going on in the house, and I'm like, man, I gotta figure because like this hip hop thing is important. Like I know it's important, but like I'm having a hard time connecting with it because of how I was raised. And eventually I got over this, just being rebellious. I got over it and I started listening to, I think my dad actually bought me the blueprint, the first blueprint for my birthday when I was like maybe 12 or something like that. And I started getting into it. And during that time, I was trying to figure out like what about hip hop spoke to me. And unfortunately I missed out on a lot of I had to go back and retrospectively listen to folks like Nas, Big L, after I had already found my way into hip hop. So I missed it at the time. You know what I'm saying? You might have been a little too young for that too, though, man, weren't you? When it first came out?
Oh yeah, I was way too young.
Yeah.
I didn't get on to like most of what I love hip hop in terms of hip hop until I was in high school, like
Yeah, facts.
14, 15.
Same.
But like I said, I was born in 91, so that boom bap era, I was watching Barney when that was on. I wasn't on
Right.
that.
Yeah. All right, man. I got one, bro, and I think I'm gonna try to get this one to stay. I know, John, you don't want no R&B on here, but I think we gotta have one. And it's gonna have to be Baduism, bro. Erica Baduism. When you think about what is the blueprint, the foundational sound of that neo soul movement, I think about Baduism. I think about Brown Sugar, but the first one I think about really is Baduism. And it's especially On and On, bro, like that, the single off of that joint. That's like the Hotep Bible. Like she is literally like reading scriptures from the Hotep Bible, bro. Like it's literally the 5%er Bible. Like she's spitting like allegorical 5%er shit the whole time in those first couple of verses. And I'm like, I had no idea what she was talking about at the time, but I went back and I kind of researched it. And she's spitting that Hotep, 5%er shit that sort of was foundational to that movement. Niggas are calling it. Somebody said big areola music.
It's a big areola music. Crazy.
yeah, the shit, your auntie, your big sister be listening to. And I just feel like that is, if we're thinking about R&B, in a hip hop sense as well. Like it's hard for me to not think about Baduizm as being deserving of a spot in terms of a debut sound that kind of was super influential from then on out. So it's hard to say. It's hard for me to argue against.
All right, so what do you think it should be able to kick off? Illmatic, Food and Liquor, Paid in Full, Good Kid, Mad City, or Southern Player, Cadillac Music?
I think Illmatic. Read them again.
Illmatic, Food and Liquor, Paid in Full, Good Kid, Mad City, or Southern Player?
I think that the leading three right now are Good Kid, Mad City, Illmatic, and Food and Liquor. I would be willing to kick off either of the other two for those, but I think those three got to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I would kick off Outkast for Baduizm because that's a hard album, man. And specifically, like Hero was saying, On and On, man, that's like the 5%ers, classic song right there. Like that's one of the first songs I remember listening to and like loving the lyricism of an R&B song like it was a hip hop song. Yes. Like I felt like I was listening to Brand Nubian when I was listening to that song, because like I live in Harlem now. That's like the home of the 5%ers, and like everything she was saying, like I was born underwater with $3.06. Like they say like do the 360, do the knowledge. 360. Like it's so hard. Like somebody in the comments said Badu is like Hotep Virgin Mary. Like yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, all right, so I'll vote with y'all. We kicked off Southern Player, Cadillac Music, and it's Baduizm. And is it the Hero? I mean, Matt, did you go? It's on me.
I think Matt went. You went with, or maybe you didn't. Maybe I skipped you. My fault if I did. My apologies.
Yeah, I think it's on Matt.
No, I went with the Big L joint. That was my last one.
All right,
so it's on you then.
I'm gonna go with, now it's about to get hard. I'm going with Reasonable Doubt. Jay-Z, one of the greatest debuts of all time. It's impactful because in '96, you didn't have 25-year-old rappers making their first album. You got to remember, Nas dropped his first album when he was 19. Pac dropped in '92. Pac would have been like 20, maybe 21. Biggie was around 20, 21. Outkast dropped when they were young as hell. So in '96, the reason Jay and them had to start Rockefeller, nobody was trying to sign a 25-year-old rapper. And he enters the game, actually hadn't lived that life with, talking about it. He got pictures from 88 in London pulling Benz up. He worked with Jazzo. That didn't work out. And they basically, people forget that Jay-Z is technically like the most successful independent artist of all time. He's been independent all this time. He's only had distribution through Def Jam, but Rockefeller was an independent label. They had a distribution deal. Then when Reasonable Doubt comes out in '96, it's a banger, but it doesn't have the impact that it should. And if you talk to older cats that were around that time, they broke it down to me. They said what actually happened, the reason Jay-Z didn't take off immediately is because the '94 crime bill. They said the '94 crime bill happened. So by the time Jay drops in '96, as a dude that was really in the streets getting money, this nigga was rapping about Cartier and Hermes boat shoes and all of these things that the street dudes who hadn't been arrested, they didn't really know. Like the real kingpins were all locked up. So they he was actually rapping above what niggas in the streets was really doing, because the crime bill, it locked so many people up. The dudes that really knew what he was saying, a lot of them were in prison. So when he drops Volume 1, he tries to go a little bit more pop with what Biggie and them were doing over at a Bad Boy, and it doesn't work for him. But yeah, Reasonable Doubt, it also aged perfectly. Like to me, the evils that's off Reasonable Doubt, right?
Yeah.
DJ Premier, I think that's probably my favorite DJ Premier beat. But Reasonable Doubt is just an amazing album. Pure elite rapping. The only thing I don't like about it is he had Mary J when she was on that shit, and you could hear her voice. She sounds terrible on Can't Knock the Hustle, man. Like I hope he redoes the album for this year because like I prefer the live version on what's the album he did? I mean the live album Unplugged on MTV Unplugged a couple years after September 11th. I think that was Jag You All Right Crazy Ass on that he brought out. But yeah, man, Reasonable Doubt is one of the most iconic albums in hip hop history. It has to make it. How y'all feel about it?
Yeah, that's easy.
What's y'all history?
I was listening to Bomani Jones, and he was talking about how he brought up something I never thought about. He said Jay-Z, when he came out, he was like, nigga, I'm already rich. You know, and like for a lot of rappers before then, they talked about how they was coming up to become rich. Jay-Z started out like, bro, I'm already rich, you know, and I think that goes to your point how like a lot of dudes couldn't relate because they wasn't rich. And Hov was like, listen, man, I already got money. I'm just trying to get more money.
Yeah. And like no, Imaginary Players, that's
volume one.
That's volume one. So all right. Pop quiz. I feel like y'all might lose y'all hip hop cards if you don't get this. What's the difference between the 4.0 and the 4.6?
30, 40 grand.
Facts. That's reasonable. That's Imaginary Players. 30 to 40 grand. They said that Jay-Z, I don't know. Niggas just be talking. They claim Jay-Z is the reason that Range Rover stopped making the 4.0. Because after he said that people only wanted the 4.6, the more luxury version. But yeah, Reasonable Doubt has to make it. So we got to figure out what got to go. We got Illmatic, Food and Liquor, Paid in Full, Good Kid, Mad City, or Baduism.
I would say Paid in Full.
Yeah, I would say too. Yeah. It's iconic. It pushed the genre forward. But man, Reasonable Doubt, like it just started something different in hip hop. Like that was that true golden era of hip hop is extremely marketable, and they started letting rappers in stadiums for that just started letting rappers in stadiums. So yeah, I agree, man. Reasonable Doubt.
Yep. Reasonable Doubt. I will say personally that I don't have the same connection to Reasonable Doubt that a lot of rap fans do, only because the reason why I'm a producer now is because when I started listening to hip hop, what connected me to the music, what connected me to the genre was the music, more so than the lyrics. So like the reason why I loved Timberland so much is because Welcome to Our World, the Timberland and Magoo debut record. I almost said that, but I knew it didn't have a shot. That was my first hip hop record that I owned. And so the music stuck with me. And for my taste, and I'm gonna lose Matt here, and my apologies, brother. I've enjoyed meeting you. I've enjoyed talking to you so far, but I know this is gonna be it. For my taste, I have learned to appreciate the New York sound as a foundational part of like hip hop, but it didn't really do it for me musically. Like I look at DJ Premier as a legend, without no doubt about it. But for my personal taste, like I more appreciate him as like as what he stood for and what he represented that we could build off of. But for my personal ear, I never loved his production like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My bad, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Nah, it's cool, man. Like we all got our individual tastes. Like I was laughing off the top when John said he hate go-go because I actually really love the go-go sound. Like one of the albums I would have thrown on there was Attention Deficit from Wale, because I love the go-go sound. Like that's something that I've really got a lot of love for. So I mean, we all have different ears and everything, because I know Premier, he definitely does a lot of like scratching in his music, and it's very much like that foundational hip-hop sound. Absolutely. So I get it.
And again, this is no disrespect intended towards Premier, because without Premier, you don't get none of the rest of these niggas that I love, right? So respect for sure.
Yeah, but still, The Evils is probably one of my favorite favorite produced records. It just sounds so grimy. Dead God, they want. Can they save me?
So
I
my
think
nigga
that's Snoopy
novelist.
sample that Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. That's a Snoop Dogg sample, I think, right?
Yes. My nigga novelist calls those type of beats pissy hallway beats, bro. That shit had me fucking cracking up.
That's what it makes it that dead ass.
Yo,
That makes
straight
sense.
up, like that beat and New York State of Mind. DJ
Yes.
Premier produced both of those, and those are 100% pissy hallway beats.
Shout out
All right,
to Apollo Brown out of Detroit. He's definitely a premier disciple for sure. That's one of our OGs.
So I'm gonna go with another heavy hitter. I'm gonna go with the Chronic.
Mm.
That's a
All
that
right.
is damn.
What does that
The
album mean? You
Chronic.
gotta
I
give us a
mean,
rundown. What does it mean to you?
so my connection to the Chronic, I mentioned earlier that I'm a Lakers fan. Um,
Yeah, how'd you end up a Lakers
and
fan as a New Yorker?
yeah, so here's my connection to LA. So my dad's sister used to be a travel coordinator for the Lakers.
Mm,
She moved out to California in the early 80s, and she got a job with American Airlines and ended up working for the Lakers doing their travel coordination. And so because of that, my parents, they would fly out to LA and they would go to Lakers games all the time. And when the Lakers played the Knicks or the Nets, they would get box seats and stuff. And so she, put my older siblings on to like a lot of the LA music, and that's how I first heard the Chronic. And man, I mean, from a musician standpoint, I really love the P-Funk sound that the West Coast
yes,
does. Like they do an
yes,
amazing job with the
yes.
instrumentation. And like, I mean, Dr. Dre obviously, used a lot of P-Funk, but the Chronic itself, man, like I would have loved to have been in those studio sessions because the instrumentation and those beats, man. But if I just had to pick like one song specifically, "Let Me Ride," the bass line on that, man, that's just cold. That's music right there.
All right, man. So I'm looking at this like we think now. Remember, we're making a Voltron of the best debut rap albums of all time. So the Chronic. Now the thing is, it's only an hour and 2 minutes. It looked like it got a couple of skits. It's 16 records. Now I don't think I'm looking at this track list. I don't think it's iconic enough to knock anything off. I don't know,
Really?
man. Nothing but it. You got nothing but a G thing. I mean, like when you think of the Chronic, like what if it's how many bangers does it have?
So I would say definitely nothing but a G thing. Let Me Ride, fuck with Dre Day.
Hmm.
Um,
Dre Day
Definitely
did?
didn't age too well, but Bitches Ain't Shit is a very popular song on the West Coast.
Dre Day is on the Chronic. Am I looking at? Am I missing it? What record? What number?
Fuck with Dre Day, number two.
Oh, okay, okay, got you. All right, but also we got some hitters: Baduism, Reasonable Doubt, Illmatic, Food and Liquor, Good Kid, Mad City. I think the ones that's gonna be hard. I don't think Reasonable Doubt is getting knocked off. I don't think Illmatic is getting knocked off. I don't think Good Kid, Mad City is getting knocked off. Now, Baduism might be on the edge. Maybe Food and Liquor, even though I fuck with Lupe. But if we're talking about a Voltron, what do y'all think? What you think, Hero? You think it cannot? You thinking? Are you knocking anything off for the Chronic if you had to?
I wouldn't, only because I think NWA and Straight Outta Compton, that is, and Doggy Style personally I like better than the Chronic.
Honestly,
So
I like the
I
Chronic
personally,
2001 better than the Chronic.
Mm.
ooh, interesting. I would knock
Yeah,
anything
I
off.
probably I don't think I would knock anything off because now that I'm thinking about like what's left, for me the top three would be Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, and Food and Liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as much as I love Good Kid, Mad City, Food and Liquor is, like Hero said, that era Lupe is my favorite rapper of all time.
If I'm ranking them, man,
Oh, really?
I'm putting Good Kid, Mad City over Food and Liquor.
Oh,
I don't
That
know.
production,
And
man.
Kendrick is my
Production
guy.
I know.
is crazy. Production is crazy.
That's the thing.
I don't
The
know, bro.
production, I feel like the production on Good Kid, Mad City is better, but
100%.
lyrically, I think I like
Yeah,
Lupe over
I agree.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Now I think I like T-Pap better than Good Kid, Mad City, or than Food and Liquor, but again, not his debut. But for me, dog, like that nigga Lupe was talking crazy on that motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Food and Liquor has to make it, but it sounds like the Chronic
honestly
is not gonna make it. You can go Hero. One of us, I don't know. We going all out of order. Go. I feel like I haven't win in a while. I'm gonna go. This one might be able to make it for one round.
It's definitely my turn, but go ahead, nigga.
Oh,
it's
go.
your stream. Go ahead, dog.
No, go. I'm gonna
go quick.
Anyway.
I'm gonna go quick because I don't think this one's gonna make the list.
I got one that I think it's gonna make it, and I got one might be able to make it for a round. I know I got one.
Okay. That's I'll go quick because I don't fucking hell. Sorry, I don't think this was gonna make the list. But again, man, I'm living in a time, 3-4 years ago, before the nigga Timberland started losing his mind in this AI bullshit that he's on. But Missy Elliott, Super Duper Fly, one of my favorite albums ever. 1997. The young kids don't know about Missy. They saw. I think she was on something recently, and people like read it. What she performed at something, or she was they brought her out for something. A lot of young people were like, oh, who is that? Like, they are discovering Missy for the first time without knowing that she had a whole legendary career before any of this, like 30 years ago.
To me, Missy is like one of the most important figures in female rappers of all time.
100%, bro. Like, absolutely.
I would probably put her as my favorite, just because as a guy, I could listen to Missy more. Just her and Timberland, like you said, man, her and Timberland was like,
yeah, that connection was crazy. And just like as a songwriter, as a singer, as a rapper, she had bars, she could sing, she could, she just could do it all. Just a musical, very, very, very talented musician in general. So I think she deserves her props. And has aged like her personally, like physically, she's aged great. She still looks amazing, and her music is timeless, man. Like, that's
her music is amazing.
This is one of the, I'm so sad about Timberland, because to me, one of his claims to greatness was the fact that his music is timeless, bro. Like, his style, and I strive for that as a producer. His style was so unique that it was not held prisoner by the sound of the moment. It existed all on its own. And that is very obvious in Super Duper Fly.
But at the same time, I like songs that make you feel like it's weird. Like some beats just age better. Like, so to me, the Blueprint 1 is a perfect album because it aged perfectly. Like, every beat on there it's early 2000s, but it aged perfectly. Compared to you listen to some songs off of maybe Reasonable Doubt, they sound like early 90s, but I like to experience that sound. Like a lot of Timberland and Pharrell, their stuff aged better compared to a Swiss Beats. When you go back, it reminds you of like, I remember that era, but like a lot of Swiss Beats stuff aged poorly.
I think
it sounds like you got a hot take. What's your Swiss Beats take?
Man, Swiss Beats is weak, bro. That nigga is my least favorite. That nigga is my least favorite famous producer ever. I know niggas, bro. I know like 14-year-old producers better than him. Just from all right, let me take some of the Fahrenheit off of that tape. Respect to Swiss Beats. I think he has earned his status as a legendary producer because I think he has been responsible for a couple of really, really good songs. But as a technician, like as a music technician, that nigga is not sharp. I'm sorry. Like that nigga's shit. The video when that nigga was playing the fucking MPC with his chin, bro. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah.
The nigga Busta Rhymes, who's maybe one of my favorite like hype men of hip hop ever, who always wants to have a good time, who always wants to live up a moment. Even that nigga Busta was like, He was trying his best to keep the nigga hyped up, but like, come on, bro. Just as a technician, I'm just not a fan. I'm sorry.
I feel like Swiss just existed at the perfect time, especially with he did a lot of Rough Riders work and stuff like that. But yeah, I can see that.
Agree.
Yeah.
What was you about to say, Matt?
Yeah, like I'm not a producer, so I try not to be too hard on the man. But yo, like some of his beats sound like, you know, like when you got a keyboard, like a Casio keyboard, and you play some of like the preset songs, like that's how some of his joints sound. Like
100%.
And that it's crazy because he got some joints that sound amazing, like Rough Riders Anthem.
Yeah,
like to this day, you will get a huge reaction out of people out of that song, or like
play the first
Money Cash Hoes or something.
Crazy. Yeah.
Right. But then you play some of his other joints, and it's like when they use that clip of LeBron and 2 Chainz, and they put like the stupid beat over it, and like LeBron's like, yeah, like that's what some of his other beats sound like.
Yeah, man, that's tough. Shout out again, as a producer though, I feel bad like being super disrespectful, because you know it is what it is, bro. The nigga legend, nigga married to Alicia Keys. Are they still married, him and Alicia Keys, or not?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, so that nigga is living his best life. Nigga got a beautiful wife, beautiful music legacy. I ain't mad at you. It's just not for me. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not for me.
All right, but yeah,
right, it's on you, John, I think.
All right, so I got my last one I saved that's probably gonna make it. I want to see if I can fight this one on for one run. Victory Lap, Nipsey Hussle. It's been 10 years. Has it been 10? What year did that come out? I feel like it came out 2015. So I think it's
for some reason I thought 14, but let me see.
Maybe 2014. So it's been at least 10 years, and 10 years hindsight. That album is perfect. That's another one that's in the case that we got to figure out what do we consider a debut album. But Victory Lap is an amazing
2018.
album.
It's not quite 10 years.
Oh wow, man, 2018, that recent? Jesus. Wow, I thought it came out longer than that.
Yeah, it seems like it was a longer ago than that.
Yeah, man. Nipsey Hussle, man. I've been a fan for years. I discovered him, like I said, during the Crenshaw era. Then he comes with this album, and it lives up to all of the hype. Like the production, it's like a West Coast version. Like to me, it's like the closest thing to a Jay-Z album from the West Coast that we would get. Like to Nipsey, his flow. I like as a rap nerd, I think about flows. He does that flow where you got to be really good because he raps so slow on a lot of records. You can't hide behind the beat and stuff like that. That's why Jay-Z is one of my favorite records. I mean, rappers. A lot of rappers, man. Yeah, a lot of rappers, they have these beats that show off for them, and they kind of speed through it. Nipsey Hussle, he raps so slow. Like on Blue Laces 2, he's at that pocket is perfect. You got to take in every single thing that he's saying. He's telling you a story. It's like another West Coast version of Good Kid, Mad City. Like I said, if Kendrick was more street, this is the album we get, man. But Victory Lap,
that's one of my biggest pet peeves of like, and this is where I kind of sound like Unc, especially in Detroit. I don't know, Matt.
Hold on, I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't know if you've been peeping this kind of Detroit hip hop moment that Detroit has been having over the past 3-4 years. You know, cats like T Grizzly, Sada Baby. Do they get any radio play in New York?
Not really. I think you kind of just gotta know them.
Word.
But they're not unheard of. Let's put it like that.
Word. So, and shout out to those guys. That sound has been around in Detroit for a lot longer than this moment, right? That's kind of been, if you look at like the Detroit like hip hop lineage, you got the Dilla disciples that sort of have kept that underground sound, that kind of boom bap sound going. You know, cats like Elzai, cats like believe it or not, Danny Brown came from that sound, and then he started kind of doing his own thing lately. Shout out to Danny Brown. Denmark, Vesey, you know what I'm saying, Marv One, a lot of those, you know, that they kind of come from that Dilla lineage of you know, sort of backpack hippity hop lyricism, which I don't mean as a derogatory remark at all. Like because that's kind of where I kind of got, you know, that was my connection to the scene. And on the other hand, you got the Blade Icewood lineage, right? These are the street niggas, right? And you know, the guys that are having their moment now, they are like the sons and the disciples of that lineage. Blade Icewood, Street Lords, Wando, you know, a lot of and I'll be honest, like I wasn't as close to that side of the family tree, so I'm less familiar. But there are some bangers, some hood classics for sure. Cheddar Boys, I don't know if I said them, but they're definitely a part of it. And so my only critique, or the reason why I wasn't able to feel less connected, is one, like they represented a street culture that even as a Detroiter, like I just wasn't in the streets like that. Right, that wasn't my experience. And they spoke to the street niggas, like without a doubt. The hip hop niggas spoke to the niggas like this, the smarty arty niggas like me. So I just felt more connected to that. These niggas spoke to the street niggas, and I had family that was in that, but it just wasn't my experience. Yeah. So, but like musically, there's another trait from that lineage that I felt a little bit disconnected from, and it's this thing where these cats will rap ahead of the beat. Yeah. I cannot. And so I was a long way for me to get to my point, but like that very much is a stylistic choice by a lot of them niggas, and I can't get with it, bro. Like it's hard for me.
I hear you.
I'm back. I'm gonna have to mute in a second.
You feel me?
Too, though. Go ahead.
Yep.
All right, hold on, wait. What y'all decide? Can Victory Lap make it?
We didn't even get to that. We was on some other joint.
Yeah.
Go ahead. But let me ask you. I want to ask you real quick. I know how John feels about him, but what do you think about Boldy James?
Boldy is interesting because he kind of represents both worlds. I actually had an opportunity to do a record with him. I reached out to his manager, and they gave me the price tag, and I was like, yeah, that might be a little rich for my blood. But I fuck with Boldy. I fuck with him. I ended up getting who did I get for that record? Guilty Simpson and I forget on the record instead. But I fuck with Boldy because he fucks with a lot of the hip hop niggas as well as the street niggas. There's been a couple of people like that. Like I think Proof, rest in peace, was one of those guys that was like an ambassador of both communities. Big Sean does a little bit of it, even though he's sort of more of on the pop route than either one of those guys. Fat Ray was the other guy that I got on that record. Fat Ray, super dope, super duper dope.
I feel like Hero might be able to answer this better. I feel like Boldy gets more love outside of Detroit.
Almost everybody. So kind of breaking down that family tree that we were talking about, the Dilla disciples versus the Blade disciples. In Detroit, in the city, the Blade niggas get way more love than the underground Detroit cats. Overseas and outside of Detroit, the Dilla disciples get way more love. So I would say that Boldy is sort of somewhere in between because he's not really like a street nigga like that for real. He's more like his style is a lot more like New York, which is why I think he's locked in with them Griselda niggas, isn't he? Isn't he a part of that crew?
Yeah.
So so I think he's found his people. I like him. I love his flow. I like him, but I agree with John that he definitely gets way more love. He doesn't have the same type of cachet that somebody like T Grizzly would in Detroit, without it, no question about it.
Right.
So is it gonna make the list? What album were we even talking about? I forgot.
Victory Lap.
Victory Lap.
Lap.
What I was gonna say is he be in the pocket so much. He's like the opposite of the new Detroit niggas, where he's they're ahead of the beat, and Nipsey is way behind the beat. Yes, and in my Nipsey, absolutely. And for me, when you're doing black music, it's always better to be late than early, right? Be behind the snare, be behind the kick, never be in front of that motherfucker. And I love Nipsey because his flow is super. Some people might call it lazy, but I just think it's in the pocket, and I love it.
Yeah, it's that laid back flow that like you can't have a trash bar. Like when you rap like Nick or Jay-Z, if you have a trash bar, it's gonna make your mind literally stop. Like
Yeah.
he's so like man, blue man, that legit. This is a and it's only an hour and 5 minutes. I know we talk about a lot of times. Sometimes they say a perfect album can't be over X amount. I think what it is because he has some short songs on here. But for this to be 18 records, it's only an hour and 5 minutes, which is crazy.
That's pretty. Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, man. Like let me for the chat. Let me throw out some of the big ones off of Victory Lap. You got Victory Lap, the record, Rap Niggas. Last time that I checked, Young Niggas, Dedication. It's under every song. Blue Laces 2, Sucker Proof,
Hard joints on
Status
there.
Symbol, Grinding on My Life, Loaded Bases with CeeLo. Man, CeeLo, I feel like CeeLo doesn't get enough respect he does as he should in hip hop either. CeeLo Green,
I agree.
Yeah, CeeLo's dope.
he's amazing in hooks.
Yeah, that
Double
whole
Up,
Dungeon family. Shout out to the Dungeon family.
yeah. So man, I know Hero wanted the R&B record. Man, we might have to kick off Bollywoodism for Victory Lap.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad at it. I think that
I'm fair. I'm with it.
I'm not mad. Nipsey is. I'm a fan of Nipsey, so I ain't mad.
I needed it to get one round because I feel like it ain't gonna make it. I got my banger unless one of y'all name it.
Yeah.
This technically should be our last round too. You got one final pick and then we could do what almost made our list.
All right, so I'm gonna go with another heavy hitter, Ready to Die.
Mm-hmm.
That
was my last one.
Yeah, it is. I can't skip that one. There's so many like absolute bangers on that album. I mean, from a New York perspective, that's one of those albums that I feel like will never really age. Like you can play some of them songs and you're gonna get huge reactions from people no matter what age. Like it's something that's been passed down through the generations that even like the young dudes who, laugh at 90s hip hop, even they respect it.
Yeah, man. Ready to Die. Like I go back and listen to that probably at least a couple times a year. Like Big was rapping. Well, how old was he when he dropped this? What, 22 maybe? Because Big was born in 72, I think.
94, right? So like
he was 20, 94. Yeah, I think
yeah,
Big
like
was
20,
like 22.
22, 21, yeah.
Yeah, man. Like ready to die, man. Like when we talk about to get in our artsy fartsy bag, when we talk about Afro pessimism, fucking Ready to Die is that album.
Shit, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that, but you are right about that.
When I die, I want to go to hell. I'm a piece of shit. It ain't hard to fucking tell.
Man,
Like what Big was talking,
yeah.
man. I don't want to be in paradise with all the goody goodies. Plus, God probably had me on some strict shit. Man, he was talking. Like, dog, no, man, his bars are insane. Like, that's I think it's probably one of the best top five albums in the history of hip hop.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
you're not gonna get an argument from me. It's that's got to be on there.
Yeah, man, Ready to Die, and like I also like it does that thing where like some of the beats sound 90s, but also in a good way, and then some of them beats off of that you could drop today, and it sounds like a 2026 rap beat.
I just feel like also like niggas never heard a rapper like Biggie before, right? Where you had the combination of elite lyricism with presence, right? I don't really have a dog in the Pac versus Biggie fight, but I will say that Biggie, for my taste, was a better wordsmith than Pac.
Yeah, I always felt like that.
I think Pac, whatever. Like I said, I don't really care about that debate. They're both goats. It doesn't need to be a battle, in my opinion. But having that level of lyricism, I mean, I really feel like at that point in time, I can't think of, I mean, maybe Nas, but in terms of like just like a real lyrical genius, right? That he was kicking doors down even more so than Jay-Z, in my opinion, who I think is a great lyricist, but I wouldn't say he is in that like absolutely elite tier of just like, you know, wordsmiths.
Really,
I think
I would, because his deeper cuts when he's just talking that shit, I would put him up there like the record like Allure or I Know, like the term hair talk about heroin from that perspective to make it flow so well. Like
I mean, I'm not mad at. I ain't gonna argue with nobody when it comes to like, is Jay-Z an elite rapper? Obviously, I'm just talking specifically about the skill of putting words together. I think the reason why Jay-Z is so successful, and this is, just hear me out. I'm gonna say a name that's gonna trigger y'all. Is the same reason that before he ran into the wood chipper that is Kendrick Lamar, Drake had been successful in the fact that he's kind of good at everything. And again, I'm not a Drake fan, but I'm not about to pretend like the nigga's not talented. He is. Right. Drake is he's a good rapper, he's a good singer, he's a good song maker. Like he is good at everything. I feel like Jay-Z has a similar skill set. I'm not comparing them as rappers, obviously, but I feel like Jay-Z, almost like Cade Cunningham, doesn't really have a weakness in his game. He's an excellent lyricist, he's an excellent song maker, he's an excellent picker of beats, hook, right? He's really good at everything, doesn't really have a weakness, but you can probably think of one or two people who are better at each of those categories individually than he might be, but you're not going to find anybody who is as good at all of those things as Jay-Z is. Does that make sense?
Right. Like 50 Cent might be the best rapper of all time when we're talking about hooks and flow, maybe, but because he's not great at everything else, like when you listen to like 50 Cent flow on Window Shopper is insane. Some white boy career is milk, like bro, that flow, like his hooks and stuff are amazing, but 50 doesn't have everything else that Jay-Z has. Like 50 is like that guy that, I don't know, he got a crazy, 50 might be like the what's it? I can't even, the other Splash brother that's not Steph.
Klay Thompson.
Yeah, 50 might be like the Klay Thompson of hooks, but you can't build a team around Klay Thompson. Like he's good at the catch and shoot, but he's one of the greatest, but like you're not building around that. Jay-Z is more like of a
He's Cade Cunningham, bro.
Yeah, Cade.
Build a team around him. And matter of fact, let me amend that take, because I saw somebody in the chat say he's great and not elite, and I can't put no juju on my Pistons right now. Cade is still elite. He is still elite. He is still a MVP caliber playoff riser who you can build a team around. All I'm saying is that I'm not going to say that Cade is the absolute most elite ball handler in the league. He is not the absolute most athletic player in the league. He's not the absolute best three-point shooter in the league. But he's really, really good at it. And I know you meant Jay-Z. That's what I'm talking about. He's really, really good at everything. And I mean that about Jay-Z as well. Jay-Z is really, really good at everything, even if he isn't the absolute top at every single category, right? That's what I'm saying.
And I think the younger generation don't realize how nice Jay-Z is. Like, go listen to What's Free and his verse on God did, or his verse with that Nip record that dropped after Nip passed. Like, those aren't even meant to be like bangers. Like Jay-Z, if he wanted to, he can make a banger, like a club banger. But when he's in his bag, like I'm just talking, like that guy did bar. The flow is that verse is crazy. But
yeah, like one of my favorite.
Yeah, Biggie ready to die. Yeah, Biggie ready to die.
But before we get back to Biggie though, one of my favorite whole verses is on Hovey Baby. Like he just, to me, he goes to another planet when he's like, I'm so far ahead of my time, I'm about to start another life. Look behind you, I'm about to pass you twice. Ooh. Back to the future, I got to show up for the present. I'm fast, niggas can't pass my past. Like he was on another level, like talking that God talk, you know. And like Hero said, like Jay-Z may not be the best lyricist of all time, he may not be the best, you know, song maker, whatever, but he's top 5 or top 10 in all the categories.
Exactly.
So that's why he got so many MVP trophies, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. It's like how we talk about Cade. If Cade could probably be a top 5 scorer, but because what he brings on the court when he plays, he's doing things on the court that's going to take away points from him. If he was chasing that top scorer, he could have it. but he's getting assists, he's playing defense, he's getting steals, and
He
that's
could
what I
average
feel
25
like.
and he only be taking shots until the second half, average 25
Yeah,
and 10,
I feel like that's what people don't get. Like certain rappers, like a Jay-Z, he said himself, if skills so lyrically, I'll be Talib Kweli, but he doesn't need to be Talib because like that's not what y'all niggas trying to hear.
Truthfully, what did he say? Truthfully, I want to rap like Common Sense. Sold a couple mil.
I ain't been rapping
like Common Sense.
Hey,
because y'all will say, oh, well, he ain't this or that, and then okay, Lupe does this, but how many mainstream hip hop fans have bought a Lupe album or listened to a Lupe album since the Cool? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Take me back to that era, man. Fuck. Couldn't tell me shit about Lupe back then.
But yeah, man, Biggie, let me run down something off of Ready to Die. Give Me the Loop. Like they said, the older cat said back when that dropped, they thought it was two different rappers. That's where he raps with a different voice, right?
Yeah.
He trying to tell himself not to rob them niggas. Is that the record, or am I thinking something else? That's the record, right?
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah. Warning, Ready to Die, One More Chance, Juicy, Big Papa, Unbelievable, Suicidal Thoughts, Who Shot You? Like, man, this album is amazing. An hour and 16 minutes.
Dog, every single one of them joints you named is a classic. Every single song.
Yeah.
Like, it probably might have one or two skits, honestly. Maybe a friend of mine, I'm not thinking of how that sounds off the top of my head, but it's still a classic album. Like, it took, like, how late into Pop's career until he dropped a classic album? Because his first one, people weren't really feeling.
And he dropped so many records, it's hard to even tell.
Right.
Like, I don't know how far you got to get down to Pop's discography until he drops a classic album. But Biggie, like, man, I'm just like, oh, this nigga was only 22 rapping like this. That's like some high school LeBron James shit, like high school Kobe Bryant stuff. Like, we only get one of them every generation or so at that age.
Yep.
Like, he was rapping so far ahead of guys. It's insane.
I agree.
All right, now
I would say Strictly for My Niggas is probably, you wouldn't call that a classic?
What album number is that?
That's the second.
That's the second one.
I'm not deep in Tupac discography like that. My brothers, they listen to Pac, but they were more, by the time I remember listening to music, they were more Biggie, Jay-Z. My one brother was a big Ice Cube fan, so I didn't hear a whole lot of Pac deep cuts. Like in Detroit, we didn't have the East Coast West Coast bias. We just listened to everything, man. So we heard everybody. So I feel like that's why Detroit, we have a better appreciation of hip hop than most regions, because we never had no bias. During the South got something to say, we was listening to the South. We was listening to everybody. So we never had that.
Strictly for My Niggas and then Me Against the World are both really, really good. I would consider both of those classic. Me Against the World has a few more bangers on it. So if you want to argue that as his third record, that's cool too.
Okay, so I feel like I'm sure I know what y'all gonna pick, but we complete the Voltron. We got Good Kid, Mad City, Food and Liquor, Illmatic, Reasonable Doubt, and Victory Lap. I know we're gonna have to kick off, but that's why I wanted to get this.
Gotta get out of here. Yeah.
It's a good one though. Like, that could be maybe the Sword, maybe. Like if we did the Sword for Voltron, but for the 5 Lions, Ready to Die gotta stay. Ready to Die. All right. My next guest, they probably come in a little bit. So actually, y'all can help me get some lists, because I'm doing part 2 in the 6 to 8 hour for the best movies featuring a rapper. Since y'all weren't here, what's some of y'all picks? Best movie featuring a rapper or starring a rapper? They got to be like heavy in it.
Are we? I mean, how much are we considering Will Smith? Because I think that kind of tips the scale.
Will Smith,
right?
Will Smith is a rapper. Sure.
He is a rapper, and he's an all-time great actor.
I put up Enemy.
Won the first rap Grammy.
Right. I gotta take a leak. I want to hear some of y'all picks. So answer the chat, because I want to see some of y'all picks, because I got to remake my list for round 2.
What you got, Matt?
In Too Deep.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Juice, of course. I can't
Mm-hmm.
forget Juice.
Belly.
Oh yeah, Belly. Yeah, absolutely. Not a great movie, but
Yes.
that opening scene is probably the best opening scene
Yeah.
in,
Is that that's a Hype Williams film, isn't it? Or no?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like his. Did he
Yeah.
ever make another movie after that or no?
I hope not.